Welcome back to another Code Recollection. Last time we wrapped up in Wells' room and then explored Franny's parents' room. This time it's on to Franny herself. First, a quick DAS update. One of Franny's parents is Marie. The letter we found in Franny's parents' room was a farewell from Marie to Henry. I guess Henry changed a lot after Lawrence died, and Marie couldn't help him feel any better. But I think she left for Franny's sake, to get her away from this island. But it must have been hard for this family that all loved each other to be separated like that. Also, we have just Edward family. I wonder if this showed up because we have all the Edwards? It wasn't there before. I tried clicking on it to see if there was like a larger entry on the Edward family as a whole. But it doesn't seem to be the case. We picked up this homemade doll from Franny and the letter that we were just talking about. And what else was new here? Oh, right, I picked up Paper Crane 5, but I'm holding off on that for a bit. So I imagine we'll find Paper Crane 4 in Franny's room. So that's where I was supposed to go first. Oh no, it's locked. I wonder...
Yes, it opened! Now we can look in Franny's room. Maybe you'll remember something else, Dee?
Yes.
I mean, certainly, if any of the rooms are gonna trigger something for him, it's gonna be this one. Like, he's clearly got a connection to the girl.
Huh? Dee?
This is it, Ashley. This is Franny's room. This is where we play together.
I don't know if Franny had any input on how the room looked, but whoever did had good taste. This box is full of building blocks. It's the block box. There are all sorts of shapes in here. Were these Franny's?
Huh.
Is that something beneath all the blocks? Well, move them then. I have to move them one at a time. There's a doll inside the box meant for building blocks.
I wonder if Franny made this doll too. It's missing its right arm.
What?
Well, it had to amputate.
It's broken. See?
Oh, you're right.
Actually, that might not be an exaggeration. Because, I mean, I don't know, I'm still playing this blindly. But Wells said that after the war, the two men had pretty grave wounds. So it's actually feasible for one of them to have had an injury in the war that caused a right arm amputation. Either that or the right arm actually fell off the doll.
The missing piece must be somewhere around here.
Wait for you to assume that everyone has both limbs,
I don't think
Ashley.
This doll is broken. I think it's supposed to be missing its right arm.
Wait, I was right?
This is a doll of Franny's father.
You get right? I said
And?
right.
And Franny's father was missing his right arm.
Wow, I was right. I can be smart sometimes. Like, geez, that guy had it rough. Closet's empty. Franny's clothes aren't even in here. Also, it must have happened during the war because we saw the photo album in Wells's room, and I'm pretty sure he had both arms when they were growing up. I had a low table like this when I was little. It was great for drawing or playing house.
Oh man, what a cute teddy bear.
That was Franny's favorite.
These vintage bears are cool. I actually love teddy bears.
Have you met Monokuma?
Suddenly I remembered that night. The one from my dreams. That night, on the table, there was a cake with candles and a bear with a red ribbon.
What about a bear with a red eye?
Here you go, Ashley. This is a present from Daddy.
Yeah, that's what Mom said.
I mean, do keep in mind that this game took place in an earlier time period.
Dad wasn't there. Where was he that night?
Ashley? What's wrong?
Dee, I remembered something too. When I saw the bear, my mom...
Your mother?
Yeah. I barely remember anything about her. But sometimes I have this dream. I feel like it ends in the middle, though. Like there's more to it. Huh. That reminds me of something Jessica said. She told me that if I meet my dad, I'll also learn about my mom.
Is that why you came here to see him?
Maybe.
Right, keeping my eye out. I also gotta look for that paper crane. Was that your favorite sofa? There are blocks and books on it. Did you know those are only 2 letters apart? I was gonna say 1 letter apart, but then I had to remember that blocks has a C where the second O should be. Not spelled with 2 O's. Before I look at that bookshelf closer... Any sign of a crane? Child's bed, pretty old.
Faded. A little girl used to sleep here a long time ago.
Well, yeah, it was left in the sunlight, so
Hey,
the fading
Dee.
makes sense.
What was Franny like?
Well, I guess she was mostly sweet, but she could be a little sassy.
That sounds like me.
She was real easy to make laugh, but real easy to make cry too.
That doesn't sound as much like me.
And she was incredibly lonely.
Oh,
No comment. The handles are so cute. Anything inside the drawers?
Huh.
A little green desk. Did Franny do her studying here? Alright, I feel like I would have seen a paper crane by now. I mean, the room doesn't necessarily have a paper crane, mind you. I'm just kind of going off the assumption, because every room that we have been in so far since finding the first paper crane has had a paper crane. And her parents' room had crane number 5, and we were supposed to come here first. So I strongly feel that crane 4 could still be in here somewhere. Maybe I need to interact with that other piece of furniture that I backed away from. But I feel like so far they've just kind of been hiding in plain sight, you know? Like I might have to walk down, walk behind something, or look at a certain angle. See it on the sofa. Under the lampshade? No. That would have been a good spot, though. If I was trying to hide something in this room, I probably would have put it right where that light bulb is, because from this angle you can see it. Means it would have been possible to find. Any other comments on the sofa? Behind the sofa, maybe. I'm worried that I'm gonna be, like, looking at these toy blocks that are almost the same color as the paper crane and just not see that one of them is actually a paper crane. I don't see it on the bookshelf, but I guess I could. And I feel a little weird if I have to open something for it, but I don't know what this game will and won't do. Just in case I am. Oop, wrong button. Just in case I'm missing something. I was a little curious about this corner where all the blocks were. Because if I point the camera at it, it should scan. Then I'll know that I found it. Is there anything on that light fixture? Does not seem to be. This little desk. More blocks scattered on the ground. Trying to confuse me. I don't know. Is it on the curtain rods? I'm still working off the assumption that there's actually a paper crane in here. And I could be overthinking this. There might not be a paper crane. At least for all I know. Under the bed from a distance? No. This side of the sofa, like under the book, maybe? No. Under the little dresser? Another good place to put it would have been, like, in place of one of these drawer handles. Because they're all shaped like animals, so having one shaped like a bird would have been, like, a really good use of hiding in plain sight. Alright, I'm gonna give up for now. Keywords are for now. Because maybe I just need to look at stuff. I wonder if there's something behind it. There's nothing. Wonder if there's something behind it. Nope. Behind it? Nope. Behind it? Of course. Of course. Of course. Alright, well, I'm already on this menu, so I'm just gonna look at the display shelf. There's a shelf decorated with dolls.
Hey, take a look at this doll.
Oh, wait, I'm ahead of the game here. I got the dolls.
It's Franny's. She made it to look like herself.
So this one is supposed to be Franny.
Yes.
What's wrong? Is something bothering you?
I remember something Franny said.
Dee, these dolls have to be nice to each other. If they get along, then...
Then
So I have to line up the
what?
hands, right?
Sorry. The dolls
Which would
need
mean
to get
that her
along?
dad must
What
go
does that mean?
on a particular side since he's only got the one. I see, I don't think I'm gonna put him in the middle. Can I move the one that's there? Yes. Alright, I'm gonna put Franny in the middle. This should make, yep, those arms connect. And finally... I mean, you gotta hand it to the girl. She could really craft something if she could make a little mechanism like that.
Yeah.
Also, these tulips... I see that they're tulips, but because of the colors, they kind of look like piranha plants to me. I don't think it's an intentional reference, but I mean, it is a Nintendo-published game.
And in here we have... a key.
Huh, okay. I guess they got that out of the fountain.
I wonder which room this key's for.
Gee, I wonder. Do we get to take the ribbon? No? We're just gonna leave it there? Fine. Guess it's her personal property. Oh, I can't pan the camera while I'm in that menu. I can use the camera in that menu, but I can't pan it unless I back away. Alright, of course the crane was just on the shelf and I wasted all that time looking for it, thinking, this shelf is story progress. I will clearly find the crane first. Anyway, this gives us updates on the message screen, so tarnished teddy bear. Living in this mansion has been like living in a time capsule. Each room is untouched by time. And as I use these rooms in my day-to-day life, I find myself developing an interest in antique furniture. When I gaze upon the elaborate decor, when I feel the fine materials used in their construction, materials that have withstood the test of time, I think I must be feeling the same sense of elegance and high living once enjoyed by the Edward family. I'll sometimes catch myself wandering from room to room just to admire the furniture. One might even say I'm becoming an enthusiast. Yet, I have found it difficult to enjoy the child's room on the east side of the second floor. Looking at the dusty teddy bear on that small desk, my thoughts rush back to Ashley and how I left her behind 11 years ago. Oh, Ashley, I want to see you just one more time. I have to imagine you don't even remember my face. You were just 3 years old at the time. I want to finish another, and then see with my own eyes how you've grown. I feel as though I've been stuck in time myself, and only you can bring me back. Wow, a lot of pressure on the kid you abandoned. Also, him becoming a furniture enthusiast and then proceeding to build a wooden stool that became part of the first puzzle. With motion controls, with terrible motion controls, I might add. That's something. Thoughts on my father as a father. When I think of one day reuniting with Ashley, I sometimes find myself wondering what sort of father I should be. And in those moments, my thoughts immediately go to my own father, who died when I was 18. He worked as an importer, a line of business that took him all over the world. His sole focus in life was his work, so he was rarely home. But one day, in a move that surprised us all, He took my mother on a vacation to South America, but their plane crashed into the Pacific Ocean, and I never saw my parents again. At the time, I couldn't understand my father's desire to bury himself in his work. How could he keep himself so busy that he neglects his family? And then one day he was gone. But looking back, I've become exactly like him. If my father was still alive, what would he say to me? To see me with my head so buried in my research? What would he think of me? Alright, we also got a key with a sprout on it. Do we think I might go through this door?
Yes!
It opened!
Not here either. Where could you be, Jessica?
These shelves are so full of books. I wonder how long it would take to read them all.
Huh?
This is a nice table, and it's not broken or anything, even after all this time. Someone left a book open here. Were they looking something up? Are we not gonna read it? My first thought would be to see what was on the page in question. Oh, neat. A quill pen. I've always wanted to try one.
Darn it.
Oh, good. It's all dried out and hardened. Can't write a thing. Checking the desk for paper cranes. The lampshade is all faded. Base is dirty, too. Wonder what color it was originally. Where's the power button? Is there a remote for this thing? Remote.
Huh.
This marble table looks expensive. It also is kind of cold when you touch it. About the newspaper? See what they were reporting on back in the day? No? I mean, I guess a lot of the words are missing, but... This sofa's so nice, it's big and comfy, but it's probably not great for watching TV. Ay, ay, ay. You know, to a certain extent, the old television not having the remote, to a certain extent, I wish that we hadn't become so reliant on remotes on our current models. Because, like, the current TV I use, it's got one button, and it's supposed to do power and input. But, like, if I temporarily lose the remote somewhere, I can't change the volume or the channel on the TV. Like, you know how we used to be able to do that by walking up to the TV? And no one wanted to do that because everyone was lazy, but at least it was an option.
It's a hummingbird.
It's crooked. This bothers me to no end.
I know what you mean. You should play a little to the left.
This is sheet music, isn't it?
Now that's up my alley.
Why was it hidden behind a painting?
Because music is art.
The painting is of this bird.
Ah!
Did you know there's a puzzle hidden in this sheet music? If you solve the puzzle and play the music, you'll get to see the piano's secret.
Are we sure that Edward Island
I
isn't just a
just
giant
remembered
escape
something.
room?
This is the sheet music Franny played on the piano.
We're shutting down the mine. Or, we're not paying our miners enough. Let's make an escape room instead.
Oh, really? I wonder if I'd be able to play it.
You can play?
Yeah, I practice on a school piano once in a while.
Will you try playing this song?
I'll give it a shot. Maybe it'll help jog some more memories.
Let me tell you, being in a high school music class
Franny told me
where
there's
you're
a
like
puzzle
required to
hidden
play
in
the
sheet
piano
music.
in like the most basic way possible, after previously studying the piano all the way from 2nd grade onward and like actually knowing what you're doing. Like, it's such a nothing class at that point. It's very awkward.
I wonder what it could be.
But at least you're not in danger of failing at that point. There's a painting of a hummingbird on the wall. Alright, I'm gonna pull out the camera, because I see the top line of the sheet music on the painting. And like, yeah, we have the full sheet music in our inventory, and maybe I'll take a closer look at that in a second. But they encourage me to take pictures of stuff, so might as well. Can always delete it. Let's see. This is a bass clef, so blah 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 blah. A B C. So you got D flat, C, B, and is that an A sharp? Which would be a B flat. It's just a descending series of notes. I might be reading it slightly wrong because I can't quite zoom in enough to make out all the lines. No, you're just, what's the word? It's a theme dinner. Alright, here's the sheet music. Investigate.
Huh?
Music staff looks weird here. It's blank. There aren't any notes or rests indicated.
Oh,
This is the only place without any. But that's what the piece of the painting is for. Because they're talking about the bass clef line down there. At first I was a little confused, because there's clearly notes in these 4 measures, but it's only in the treble clef. Wonder why the bird from the Golden Bird Room is drawn here.
oh.
Is this a painting of Franny? It looks a lot like the sketch in the art studio. Weird to think Dee was friends with her all these years ago. This picture is filthy. Guess it's been gathering dust a long time. Closet's been cleared out.
Huh.
There's a bunch of different alcohol from all over the world. Candle holders by the bed? Is this what they used for light? I'd be too scared to have open flames right by my bed. Well, I'm sure they blow them out before they sleep. It's pretty dusty up close. Makes sense, I suppose. And there we go. I was wondering if we would find the paper crane for this room. Hummingbirds. From the door knockers to tableware to paintings to sculptures in the fountain, a hummingbird motif permeates every corner of this mansion. The fact that there are so many hummingbird decorations indicates that Lawrence had a strong fixation on them. Hummingbirds can be a symbol of healing and love, and are apparently a popular motif in Native American cultures as well. I believe it's possible Lawrence included hummingbirds all throughout the mansion as an attempt to alleviate his loneliness. It reminds me of something Sayaka once told me. In Japan, the crane has long been associated with good fortune. Designs featuring this particular bird are very popular. Origami cranes are most popular as a means of making a wish. As such, those who wish for peace or a speedy recovery from illness will often make them in droves. So perhaps Lawrence's hummingbird decorations were made with a wish for peace in his own life. That's a weirdly worded sentence. Sayoko taught me how to make original origami cranes a long time ago. Maybe I should make a few and leave them around the mansion with a wish that the departed may rest in peace. We do have an update to Franny, but it's I think it's just the portrait. Yep, okay. So, you can certainly leave it to me to solve the mystery of any piano, and we'll do that on the next Another Code Recollection.